Hey, it's Michelle Butt. Welcome to the very first video in this new series that we're calling Face Life Fridays. So if you've been around my community for a while, you know that we've been doing over 150 Fun Fact Friday videos, and they were really great. They were so much fun. But as time has gone on in my business and I have evolved, I realized that I wanted to make the Friday video interaction with you a little different, potentially a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more applicable to life. And life encompasses so many things. Life is not just waking up and going to bed and hanging out with your family. It's everything. It's work. It's how you talk to yourself. It's how you exercise, it's how you talk to your partner, it's how you talk to your children, it's how you think about yourself when you look in the mirror, when you look down at your body. That's all life. So when we do these Face Life Friday videos going forward, we're going to talk about things that are important to your life. And most of the time, it's always going to come back to a facial intelligence application because, as you know, I firmly believe, and it has been validated for me over and over again, that most of the keys to figuring out what's going on for you or what's impacting your life shows up in some way here on your face. This is the clue that we give each other, ourselves in the mirror, and we give to each other because unless we're walking around with a mask on, like a physical mask, not necessarily the other kinds of masks we wear, which we will probably cover as we go through these weeks. But we are telling people, this is me, see me, not just see this combination of DNA that came from my mother and father, but see all the nuances of who I am. See what my eyebrows are telling you about how I think and feel. See what my expressions and my wrinkles and my smiles and my frowns are telling you about who I am, what my journey is like right now, what it has been, and potentially what I hope for it to be. So I really, really want to get more meaty with you in these videos, and I hope you will join me and continue to join me week after week as we put forth this content for you that really is meant to teach and to make you think and then to be of service to you from the content in the video and give you access to potentially other services that we offer that might be more applicable to you. So today what I wanted to talk about, it's a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to talk about how we do things, how we overcome things. And I wanted to give you a little example. A while back, I was talking to a friend and they were talking about their childhood and how it wasn't exactly the easiest of childhoods and how one day they just went through something and they decided, okay, I don't want to go down this path, which could have been a very destructive path. I want to overcome, and from this day forward, I'm changing. And so they then did a total 360 and they changed their life around and were very proud of who they had become in their current life in many areas. There were other things, but in terms of not going down a really bad path, that was this person's experience. Now, this person also had siblings, and they had a sibling that, just as an adult, just has never been able to make it in anything. Everything's a struggle. There's always something that is pulling them away from success, whether it's at work or in relationship or even in dealing with emotional challenges. And my friend was saying, well, I have no sympathy for my sibling because if I can do it and I went through the exact same things, then they can do it too. And it was a very kind of hard line to take. And as much as I understood that, what I realized and what I have realized by doing the work that I do, especially in facial intelligence, is that yes, we can all experience similar things, but how we respond is unique to us. And that unique response signature usually shows up in our faces and the archetypal nature of who we are to determine what that response is going to be. So my friend was very, very strong warrior, very strong sage with a really, really strong chin. So someone who is so driven and has this strong sense of right and wrong, strong sense of drive, but also a real tenacity and stubbornness about him. And so when he made a decision that things were going to change, then the tenacity around that decision allowed him to focus and continue it on in such a way that he was able to overcome a lot of the challenges that he experienced in childhood. His sibling, by contrast, had a much more nurturing and much more captivator face. And so all of the things that happened to him in his childhood didn't so much steel him and harden him like it did the sibling. What it did was it made him more brokenhearted. He was so personally brokenhearted by the experiences that his response was always from a place of heartbreak, from a place of not feeling lovable enough or not being capable of sharing the true emotional depth of the pain of the childhood. And so he was never quite able to overcome that and become the success that he wanted to be in life. And that is, when I tell you this, and when we're talking about facing life, what I'm not telling you this to say, make this an excuse for why you aren't successful. It is understand why he is so different from you. This is me talking to my friend, and that the things that you use to overcome, he can't use. He doesn't have the same kind of access to them yet. We all have access to each of the archetypes, but his access is going to come from a place of, first he has to heal his broken heart, and then he can access his warrior and his sage. But if his heart is so broken first in his captivatorness, then that has to be healed and looked at for him to start being successful. And if no one comes in and recognizes that, then he's going to continue on the path that he's on and may never get to the place of where his sibling is. And so what the point of this video is for you to understand that similar experiences do not invoke similar responses. We know that when a whole crowd experiences something and then everyone has to recount, they're going to remember different things and feel different things based on who they are and their life experiences. But in order to face life and figure things out effectively, we need to understand what position we come from, where our unique strengths and challenges are. And you can get a really strong idea of that from looking at your face, and then understanding how your unique signature needs to heal, to fix, to approach a problem in order to then solve it. And that really is the key to the work. That's the key to life, is understanding, who am I really? Who is that other person? And how do we then effectively interact or change or approach a problem so that we can solve it in a way that is solvable for us long-term and tremendously effectively? So that is my little talk about differences and challenges and understanding perspective to face life. So if you're facing something and it's something that you've seen someone else do, maybe you might want to think, okay, if I try it that way, is that going to work for me? Do we have similar features? Do we have similar life experiences? Or do I have to find a way to understand where I come from and how I should be approaching that problem? And you can do that for yourself. You can do it with a mentor, or as always, I am here and I can help you with that at any time. So if you'd like to learn more, there are many resources on the website at facevalue.com, or you can always reach out to me here on whatever platform you are seeing this video from. So I'm Michelle Butt. I will see you next Friday with another Face Life Friday. Thanks for sticking with me for this almost 10-minute video, introductory video, but I hope you've learned something and that you have the best weekend ever. Bye for now.